Life by You haven't really given us a proper update for quite a while. I believe behind the scenes they may just be working very hard on features and feedback that they've received. They have made it very clear that they are going to sort out the lighting. I know people keep saying like the game looks way too like powerful and shiny. It really does. Like I feel like I need my sunglasses, but I know that is something that they've said in videos or in comments before that they are working on, which is good. But today we're looking at the build mode itself. Now getting straight into it, you can see they're placing flooring. Now there's a pattern scale feature. I didn't know this existed, where you can scale the size of the flooring, not just like overall, but lengthways and widthways separately. That's, I feel like I'm not going to use that, like it's a bit advanced for me. But it seems like a pretty cool idea. And it seems like also, I'm just going to pause here, there seems to be enough base swatches of basically everything in terms of the patterns, because obviously you can change anything to any color that you like. I feel like for the base game there's enough swatches. The only thing I do really want is lots of presets. I know they have the custom colors feature where you can make a color and bookmark it, but like I just want them to create swatches so I can just jump straight into it because I am lazy. Looking back at The Sims 3, which had a very similar creator style tool, like I loved it, but I just couldn't be bothered to use it because they had so many different color variations and options, but there were no different basic swatches, so you just never really used the tool. They've also gone a little bit more into the building tools that you can see on the left. I would admit it feels like a little bit of a maze. Also, at first I didn't really care about the fact that the UI on the left was vertical, but I feel like it's gonna piss me off a little bit when I play it. Like I don't know about anyone else, but like vertical UI in video games scares me. It feels very technical. It doesn't feel like a game, like it feels like Photoshop or something, and I'm not keen on it. I've just come to that realization right now. But good news, you can see that you can place walls diagonally on any angle. You can also place anything like off the grid, so you don't have to snap builds to like a full tile with the walls, which is good. I've also been having a look at like the object menus because obviously it gives us little hints as to what kind of objects we're going to see in the game. I'll be honest, everything looks kind of basic as we've seen so far. I'm really hoping that they add a lot more because I want to be able to create a variety of builds, and I'm sure they will add more. Like it's not even in early beta release, so they're still adding a lot of objects in as they go along, I'm sure. But it seems like based on the build menus, you can go into a lot of detail in terms of basically anything, which is a good thing. I think if you're a builder, I think you're going to appreciate the complexity. If you're not a builder, I think you're going to get overwhelmed. Like I'm not much for builder. I do love building, but you know, if you look at The Sims 4, the reason why people are building in that game is because it doesn't require much expertise. In The Sims 3, the build mode was actually a lot better in many ways than it is in The Sims 4, but it required a lot of expertise. In The Sims 4, it requires absolutely no expertise, and I think because it's so accessible, that's why it's so enjoyable. How accessible will Life by You's build mode be? I absolutely have no idea. We can see this build video here and it looks pretty cool and it looks really detailed, but we don't know how accessible it is, which is obviously one of the most important things. Also, I'm really hoping that the hotkey shortcuts on your keyboard are going to be the same as The Sims 4, because I can't deal with learning like a new shortcut language. Like it's really difficult. I don't know about anybody else, but when I switch from one game to the other, I get really confused. They haven't actually mentioned build shortcuts for the different tools, but I'm hoping we have them, because as you can see here, the build like shortcuts are on the left here, but then the menu changes to the main one. They're not in different areas, so I feel like it's a bit annoying. I hope they sort that out. They've also mentioned, by the way, how with this at the top left, that's snapping on and off the grid tool. In other words, a move objects on cheat, but it's not a cheat, it's just built in. The video, they went off on the creator style tool, showing off how you can change basically any part of something to any color. You don't just change the overall design, which is nice. Although again, I really hope that there's presets for everything, because even though it's nice to make your own presets, like I can't be bothered. I want them to do it all for me because I am lazy. Again, they've showed off some furniture. Do you know what I really want them to do? Bit of a tangent. Do you remember the Sims 2 IKEA stuff pack if you played that game? Like I'd love it if they, obviously they will have DLC. Like I'd love it if they collab with like IKEA and gave us an IKEA set with tons of IKEA stuff. On the subject of the Sims 2, do you remember the Sims 2 Diesel stuff? I was in TK Maxx. I've never bought Diesel clothes in all my entire life. I saw it and it reminded me of Sims 2 Diesel stuff, so I brought this hoodie because I needed a hoodie. Tangent aside, she was adding fitness stuff in the video, and we've got a glimpse of all the fitness equipment that you can have. I know they showed off a gym video before, but you can see it has a stepping platform, a gym bike, dumbbells and barbells, treadmill and other dumbbells, and a chin-up thing. Like, I know it's small, but like in The Sims 4, all we have is just a treadmill and that like pushy thing. I don't even know what they're called, like a chest press. Like, I just feel like in this game I can make a proper gym. Like, I feel like they've got a lot of gameplay objects just in there off the bat. Even though this is a build video, I look at it from the perspective of gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I feel like Life by You's build mode does look very intricate, but I feel like its thing is gonna be gameplay. I feel like when this is out, everybody's gonna look at The Sims 4 as the really great life simulation game for its build mode. I feel like Life by You is going to be known for its gameplay mode. Also, maybe this is a very controversial opinion. I honestly think Life by You's create a sim, we can't call it create a sim mode, you know what I mean. I think it's going to be the best create a sim mode. I think it's going to be better than The Sims 4. I know that's really controversial, but I think once they finish it, I think it will be a lot better. They keep calling their characters humans in all of their like trailers and teaser updates. I really hate the fact that they keep calling them humans. It sounds so like scientific and a bit weird. I mean, in City Skylines, which is also made by Paradox, they call them Sims, but they just spell it with a C instead of an S. I feel like they need to just call them Sims, but spelt with a C. I feel like it would work. It's like crossover lore in between their games. Now, another thing they showed off is how you can change wall height by dragging it. It seems like there's maybe 4 different wall heights. I can see it's a little bit difficult to tell, but I believe there may be 4 different ones. They also showed off something that's like wall trims. So you can see we've got horizontal and vertical ones in different thickness and also vertical bars. And when you click on it, you can basically create a trim that goes at the bottom of the wall. Because in real life, obviously, we have trims at the bottom of the wallpaper. So they've shown how you can basically add the trims to any wallpaper that you like. You don't have to choose a specific swatch with a trim. Again, like, it's very intricate. I think I'm going to forget to do that in all my builds in this game. But I think if you're a builder, you will like the customization. Also, they should like, just if you look at this, how like the angle of the wall, you can make it basically anything. I'm not sure how it's going to work in gameplay mode, if characters are going to be able to walk around okay. Also, I don't know if I'm going to do diagonal walls, because like you wouldn't see a build in real life with a diagonal wall, but I think it would be nice to create things on different angles. Also, it wasn't mentioned at all in this video, but you can see that the lot itself, it's placed kind of half clipping onto the pavement, and it's done a little bit roughly. This makes me wonder, like, are they going to be chill about lot placement, that you can kind of just place it anywhere, even if it's clipping over a road? It's kind of like, you know, chill vegetarians, where like they will eat a pepperoni pizza, they'll just peel the pepperonis off and pretend it didn't happen. Like, are we going to be chill vegetarians about lot placement? I hope so, because that means I might be able to build townhouses. I'm just pausing as well, looking at the sofas that are already coming in the base game. Love that we've got, what would you call these kind of sofas? We don't really have anything like this in The Sims 4, just a pre-made one. There definitely seems to be like an okay amount of options, especially considering that it's not even in beta yet, so they're obviously going to add more. I do think a lot of the objects look very basic, in terms of not basic in a lovely fashionable way like in IKEA, but basic in a like, these are basic assets that you'd find on the Unity assets store. Like, I hope they work on making much prettier objects. Color tools can only go so far. I want to be able to see a wide variety of different things you can have, and not just have IKEA showroom stuff from the offset. I want to be able to create a unique looking build in any kind of style. So hopefully they do work on that. I mean, all it takes is buying a £20 interior design handbook from Waterstones and you're done. Just copy all the designs from there. I feel like right now the architectural stuff looks really in depth, and I think architecturally you're going to be able to create really incredible stuff, but I think the actual furniture needs a bit of work. Although one thing I do think is cool, you can see when they place down certain objects, there's like footprints, green footprints by them, and these footprints basically basically indicate that they can interact with that object from that angle. She also showed off placing down a fireplace. You can see here that there's actually red footprints here, which indicates that potentially they won't be able to interact with the fireplace from this angle, but they can from the right-hand side. I think it's quite useful because in The Sims, like obviously we all build with move objects on because it's a lot better, but you don't know if they can interact with it. You have to test it in live mode, but in this way, you may not have to actually test it in live mode, which is good. Also, another random thing, which was just brushed over in the video, looks like we have an air conditioning unit. I really hope the air conditioners are functional in this game. Like I hope we have proper heating with radiators and stuff. That would make me very happy. Also, it seems in terms of their object sorting, you can sort by kitchen, but then you can also sort by retro kitchen set, sleek kitchen set, modern kitchen set. But they haven't just got the ability to sort by counters. Just yet we can just see counters, it seems, unless you have to search for it. Although I do like the idea of sorting by a kitchen set. I think it actually makes it a lot easier. In The Sims, you can't really do that. It's all a little bit more disjointed, although in other ways it's a lot more organized. So I don't know how it's going to feel when you actually play with it, but I like that the whole kitchen set is just like lumped together into one. That is a lot of refrigeradores. There is 11 refrigerators in the bloody base game of this game, apparently. And they all look the same. Although that's not what's overkill. What is overkill is the pricing. 40,000 for a bloody fridge. What in the Conservative government inflation is going on here? I mean, lot value, 5, 6, 7K. I know they did say in videos before they wanted to make the economy a lot more realistic, but like, are we really simulating the 2023 housing crisis? I don't want to relive the housing crisis in this game. I'm already having enough struggle being able to get a bloody mortgage. I can't even get one. Even if I could get one, they're too bloody expensive. I don't know if I want to relive that. I do like the realism though. Also, they haven't mentioned it, but I really want apartments. We will have hotels in the base game of this game, so maybe, well, I know apartments they are gonna be DLC, aren't they? They are gonna be DLC. But obviously hotels will come in the base game of this game, so I assume they'll have the functionality to build apartments because they kind of work in a similar way to a hotel. Another very small thing is that they showed off being able to place build objects, but you can see that you can basically freely place a blender or a coffee machine. In The Sims, you have to place it like right at the front of the counter, but in this game, it seems you can place it anywhere. I don't know how that's going to work with animations. I don't know if they're actually going to interact with the object or if the animations will be a little bit weirder and clunkier if you can place them anywhere. I feel like any video game kind of needs a balance. I know it's a difficult thing to do, but hopefully you can just free place a coffee machine or a blender and a chopping board and actually use it. Another random customization thing they showed off was fences. Now, as well as like just being able to build a basic fence, you can actually customize the fence posts and the fence itself separately. So you can see all the different fence post types that you can choose from. So she's chosen a thick stone one, but then you can also change the fence itself to anything she's chosen. And I went again, like I hope we get presets so I could just chuck down like a normal fence. I don't want all the customization. I mean, I like it, but I'm not a builder. Like I want presets. I hope we get presets. Based on the video, it seems like there is a lot of architectural customization and a lot of color customization, but I would love to see firstly a ton more presets for lazy bitches like me and you. I'm assuming you're a lazy bitch with build mode because I am, but like I don't know. The next thing I want to see is much prettier by objects, and the next thing I want to see is potentially a change to the vertical tools that kind of look a bit like a maze. But I do think that Life by You will be the gameplay life sim and The Sims 4 would be the build mode life sim. If you want more of a live mode gameplay update, you may want to check out this next video here. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.